Hey everybody, I just wanted to get out a welcome to the number 9 blog video post on this fine Sunday afternoon. You can find the content at www.todayyoucan.net. You can also find Today You Can merchandise at www.shoptodayyoucan.com. I hope you guys find the information informative and enjoy it, and I will talk to you guys next time.
During the blog video post number 9, we're going to talk about experiencing an increase in your mental health, retaining or maintaining your driver's license, and maintaining healthy relationships. Many people believe that alcohol is something that will make them feel better, and perhaps it does at times, but the truth is that alcohol is considered a depressant and actually dampens our mood. During the first few drinks, we often experience stimulating and euphoric effects due to the dopamine that has been released. As we continue to drink, however, the depressive effects kick in. During this time, our brain experiences an increase in the effects of the inhibitory transmitter known as gamma-aminobutyric acid, which dampens our responses. Continued drinking also leads to a reduction in the effect of the neurotransmitter glutamate on our brain. Glutamate is responsible for alertness, reactions, and memory making. After consuming enough alcohol, the parts of our brain associated with judgment, planning, and pleasure seeking are inhibited as well. Not only that, but dehydration and low blood sugar often result in drinking due to a B12 deficiency and toxins left from the constant work of metabolizing the alcohol that was consumed. An average drinker might be able to get away with these adverse effects because they will not have to deal with them very often. But for an alcoholic, these effects are an almost daily concern. You can see then how drinking alcohol can have a negative effect on your mental health. The continuous adverse biological and chemical effects, as well as the guilt and shame that are often accompanied by drinking due to the inhibition and poor decisions, are enough to decrease anyone's mood. In previous blog posts, we talked about 2 of Covey's habits that involved creating healthy relationships. Specifically, we talked about habit 4, which involved thinking win-win, and habit 5, which involved seeking first to understand and then to be understood. Hopefully by now you have begun incorporating those habits into your relationships and have seen some improvement. We know that social support is of extreme importance when it comes to maintaining our recovery. In order to ensure that social support we are receiving is of the highest quality, we need to be interacting in healthy relationships. To help us do that, I thought I would introduce the dialectical behavioral therapy skill, interpersonal effectiveness. Dialectical behavioral therapy is a therapeutic technique that helps us integrate skills into our everyday lives that enable us to change behavioral, emotional, thinking, and interpersonal patterns associated with problems. As soon as the next week, we will look at the different skills we can utilize to improve and maintain our relationships with people we are close to and even complete strangers. The goals of interpersonal effectiveness are to be skillful in getting what you want and need from others, build relationships and end destructive ones, and walk the middle of the path. In order to drive yourself around legally, you must maintain a valid driver's license. Simple enough, right? Not if you obtain any number of operating while intoxicated tickets. Because my license is in the state of Michigan, we will use that state as an example. In Michigan, after you obtain one operating while intoxicated or OWI, your driver's license is automatically suspended for 30 days and then restricted for another 150 days. Depending on your blood alcohol content at the time of the OWI, you could face stricter consequences, including a driver's license suspension of 1 year. You are then eligible for restrictions after 45 days of the suspension only if an ignition interlock device is installed on all vehicles you own or plan to operate. Ignition interlock devices cost between $100 and $200 to install and carry a rental fee of between $70 and $100 a month. After you obtain a second OWI in Michigan, you are looking at a driver's license revocation and denial for a minimum of 1 year. This revocation and denial would increase to a minimum of 5 years if there were a prior revocation within a 7-year period. You will face similar consequences after a third OWI, specifically a driver's license revocation and denial of a minimum of 1 year. Again, the revocation and denial increase to a minimum of 5 years if there are 2 convictions within a 7-year period or 3 convictions within a 10-year period. Now that we see what happens to our driver's license after any number of OWIs in Michigan, let's look at what it takes to get our driver's license back. At the minimum, this will include a $125 reinstatement fee. More likely, however, we're looking at that along with a $200 to $300 substance abuse evaluation and a substance abuse related hearing. During this hearing, a lawyer from the Secretary of State will decide your case. For the hearing, you will need a laboratory report from a 10-panel urinalysis drug screen, evidence that supports your sobriety, and 3 to 6 support letters. As a habitual offender, you will likely have at least 2 hearings because during the first hearing, your request will be denied. And if you are fortunate enough, you will get restrictions on your license, which will most likely involve the installation of an ignition interlock device. I have experienced the consequences of multiple OWIs. For that experience, I can assure you that it is a very frustrating and unpleasant process. It is my hope that you do not have to experience it, and if you have, that you never have to experience it again.